in the aggregate, black voters do overwhelmingly support Biden, although those numbers are softening. It's the flip for Trump, where he actually sees his support among this group growing. What seems to be working for him, do you think, with this group?
He plays a lot to people's fear and anger. And I think he really plays on people's emotions and feeling, are you, doing well right now? And he plays on the economy. He plays on, people going to the grocery store and not being able to afford the groceries they were able to when he was president. So he really does play on, what are impacting table issues, things that are affecting families. He's good about that. But again, he really is good at stoking fear and anger and pointing the finger at somebody and pointing the finger at Joe Biden as the reason for all the problems we face right now in this world.
Mara, let me stick with you for just a moment. And speaking of anger, it seemed like Trump himself was pretty angry yesterday during the Stormy Daniels testimony. She is expected to resume testimony tomorrow. How damaging politically is what we've heard thus far? We certainly heard the argument before trial began. The charges are baked in. The cases are baked in. Voters know. They've already heard the stories. But now this testimony is new and at times pretty salacious. I mean, what are your thoughts about the vulnerability here for him based on what we've heard?
I think with Trump voters, they already, they're going to believe what Trump says. And he says that this isn't true, that he didn't sleep with Stormy Daniels despite all these salacious details. I also think that the salacious details coming out yesterday, it does kind of make it look like, this is targeted. And it really does feed into his narrative that he's been saying all along, that this is a witch hunt, they're out to get him. And so the credibility there, because they just decided to include those details that aren't necessarily relevant to the financial aspect of the case, it will only bolster his supporters. I don't think that you're going to have anyone dissuade or all of a sudden see this case and be like, oh, I should vote for Trump. But I do think that his supporters are even more firmly adamant to be on his side.